Hello and welcome to a special edition of Laithwaites Recommends. In case you hadn't noticed, it's February, and one of the highlights of February for a lot of us is Valentine's. My name is Grant.
And I'm Jenny.
And welcome to our Gloucester Tasting Theatre, a new room in our Gloucester warehouse and offices where all of the wine is kept, very important place. And also some of our wonderful teams are based here, not least our customer services team who we'll be hooking up with later.
Absolutely.
So we've got some highlights from the show today to give to you. We're going to break it down into 5 sections.
We are. So our first section is our wine forecast. Now in this section we're going to be taking a look at some of the wines that we're talking about this month. You may have already received your February mailing, so we're going to be looking at some of the wines from there, including our hero wine of the month. And then we're going to be looking at some new wines that our buyers have just brought into stock.
After that, as it's Valentine's, we should all be getting physical. There's a bit of a pun there, it's a bit rubbish, my apologies. But we will be looking at some foods that you might be enjoying over Valentine's and pairing them with some of our wonderful sparkling wines.
Yes, I think oysters, strawberries, anything that...
Fish and chips.
Anything that's a bit romantic that you can pair with a sparkling wine. Then we are going to be taking some travel vinspiration.
Love it.
Giving you some travel vinspiration. We're going to be travelling around the world. We're going to be going to South Africa, we're going to be going to France, and we're also going to be talking to some of our winemakers who are out and about in the vineyards at the moment.
And after that, if you've ever had some wine questions, you wondered, what is it about this wine? What is it about that wine? We're going to answer all of your most frequently asked questions in our Know How part of the show. And there we'll be hooking up with Rebecca Harris from our customer service team to find out what are the most frequently asked questions and answering them for you.
And our final section of this evening's show is a special look at some of our Valentine's gifts. So whether you've got somebody who you'd like to give a gift to, a loved one, or just somebody that you're looking to impress, we've got lots of options for you for Valentine's Day.
So sit back, open yourself a bottle of wine and enjoy. And now it's time for the wine forecast. Now, if you're holding out for a hero this Valentine's, let me tell you that not all heroes wear capes.
No, Grant, some wear a screw cap.
Love it. So we're going to introduce to you the Split Rock Sauvignon Blanc, which is one of our hero wines. And in order for it to be named a hero wine, it has to fulfill certain strict criteria.
That's right. It has 3 criteria that it has to hit. Those are, it has to receive thousands of 5-star customer reviews online. It has to have been added to a customer's favourites list thousands of times, and it also has bestseller status. So this is one of those wines. This is Split Rock. It's our Nelson Bay Sauvignon Blanc.
And it's made by the very talented Chris Seafried, and his family have been in business on the South Island in Nelson since 1973. In fact, his parents, Herman and Agnes, were real pioneers, and their winery was the first commercial winery on the South Island in New Zealand.
I can't believe that. That's
Frontier
so amazing.
Stuff. So they make a number of really lovely wines for us, and this is just one of them. And it really packs a punch. It is classic New Zealand, yet it's elegant, fruity.
It really is.
I love it. My mouth's watering. I can smell it. I can smell it.
Even pouring it into the glass, I could smell those really tropical flavours. The grapefruit, pineapple, guava.
Brilliant. Lime, herbaceous, there's loads going on. So we were going to hook up with Chris today, but he's rather busy, but we did manage to convince him just to send us a little hello message. So he's busy moving wines from tank into bottle and getting ready for the harvest, which is imminent. So let's hear from the winemaker Chris Seafried.
Hi Grant, Jennie and all our friends and customers at Laithwaites. I'm Chris Seafried, maker of the Split Rock Sauvignon Blanc from Nelson, New Zealand. I'm standing in one of our vineyards here. You can see the fruit behind me. This will be our 2022 Sauvignon Blanc. The berries are just softening, they're lovely and plump. It's been a very warm summer in Nelson, so harvest is about 2 weeks early. Today's a bit of a drizzly day, which is not too bad from time to time, so we're quite happy. Harvest will be kicking off, and I'll come back to you with a vintage update midway through. Until then, take care.
Oh, that was a great message from Chris, wasn't it? And it's really lovely to see what he's getting up to at this time of year.
Yeah, and the way he said Jennie makes me giggle.
Well, I am part gin, so Jennie, ginish, whatever.
Brilliant. Let's taste Chris's delicious wine. Give a few more tasting notes and some food matching, and of course prices as well.
Yes, well, I've already told you that I think it smells fantastic. Just leaps out of the glass, doesn't it?
It's lovely, but it's elegant. For me, it's not overwhelming. So it's some guava, some tropical fruit, gooseberry, lime, some herbaceousness there as well.
Yeah, it's quite complex. It's got lots of different flavours to it. It's not just single note.
Sunshine and mountains, and the sea.
Imagine having that just on a lovely summer's day.
Amazing. It is cracking. Sorry, I'm cutting you off.
That's fine. It's really great value as well, isn't it?
It is super value, yeah. So a single bottle of this wine will cost $13.99. If you're buying any mix of 12 bottles from us and you include one of those, it would come down to $11.99 plus details going into the chat. A special Laithwaites Recommends additional discount of 10% for you to enjoy.
I think that's fantastic for a New Zealand Sauvignon Blanc of this quality.
That's
a really good price. And so, give me some ideas of what I should be eating while I'm drinking this.
Brilliant. So I think seafood. I mean, being a coastal wine region, and what grows together goes together. Not literally, obviously, but seafood works really well. So shellfish in particular. So your mussels, clams, prawns, fish fillets, but I think this one would do really well with Thai curry. So as long as it wasn't too spicy, nice bit of fruit, there's a little bit of honeyed sweetness there, and I think that would work really well.
And that freshness would be really balance out kind of the creaminess of a Thai curry, wouldn't it?
It would cut through it really nicely.
Lovely. Well, thank you very much. I think
You're welcome. That's what I'm here for.
Start.
Yep. Cheers.
So now we've got a new wine to our stocks. This is brand new, but it is, you might recognise the label because it's a sister wine to our really popular Gooseberry Bush. So Gooseberry Bush is a Sauvignon Blanc Colombard blend from South Africa.
Very good, Jennie.
And this is the rosé version because you guys loved it so much that we spoke to the winery and asked them to do a rosé version.
And this is made for us by the brewer family at Bon Courage in South Africa. So in beautiful Robertson Valley is where they're situated. And this is made from South Africa's signature grape, which is Pinotage.
So Pinotage makes a lot of South African reds, like really rich, deep reds, doesn't it?
Yes.
But we've spoken about this a little bit before, but you make rosé wine by using the same grapes as red wine, but they just spend less time with the skin, so they get less of a tannic flavour and less of the colour.
Brilliant. We call it a shorter maceration period, so it gets that lovely light berry flavour. The freshness is all there, and no tannins, of course.
This smells so lovely. It's so elegant, so light.
Yes, it's very delicate. So Philip Villorin is the winemaker, and I think he's done a really good job of making. For me, it's like the rosé for the spring. In fact, why wait for the spring? Let's just get stuck in. But really lovely sort of strawberry, cherry, and raspberry key flavour.
Yeah, that kind of tart kick at the end definitely just makes it taste like you've got a raspberry in your mouth. It's delicious.
Yes, and there's a light spicy character to it as well.
Fantastic. Well, this is great value, isn't it?
Yep.
It's $9.99 for a single bottle, or if you buy a case of 12 or more, you can mix and match, buy just this wine, whatever, it's $6.99 a bottle.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And of course you get the show discount on top of that for watching today. So if you like the sound of it, you can just click on the buttons that will appear either side of us, depending on where you're watching, and you can pop it straight into your cart.
Brilliant. White pepper, a little bit of white pepper, which, and I forgot what I was going to say. Food. Works really well as an aperitif, just nice and light and fresh, but some seafood again would go really well, salads. And
I think that it would be really good with dessert, so some fresh berries, some whipped cream,
brilliant.
Maybe a pavlova.
Brilliant. I'm going tempura veggies, final offering. Cheers, everybody.
So now we're going to Italy.
We are indeed, and this is a long-standing wine for us. This is the Ultima Edicione, and the Ultima Edicione came about as a brainchild of our head winemaker, Jean-Marc Sabua.
Sure.
And he went to Italy in the mid-90s to Villa Fagna, who make this, and introduced to them the concept of cross-regional blending. So this wine is a blend of 4 grape varieties.
Okay.
2 of them from Abruzzo, that is a Montepulciano Toscano and Sangiovese, and then 2 of them from the south, from Puglia as well, Negromaro and Primitivo.
Okay.
And the Primitivo is a passimento method as well.
So that means the grapes are slightly dried, is that right?
Yes.
That's going to give it a kind of touch of sweetness.
I would say a touch of ripeness. There's more sugar certainly in the grapes prior to fermentation, but that it will give more sort of ripe, rounder, velvety flavours in the wine. It could, of course, give sweetness as well.
We're thinking kind of like stewed fruit or dried fruit flavours? Or?
Dried fruit normally, because the fruit is dried traditionally. So if you like your Amarone, then it's the same method.
Maybe like prunes.
Yeah.
That is a bit, but I'm getting cherries mainly.
Yeah, it's massive, isn't it? Loads and loads of cherries. It's hard for me to imagine an Italian wine, red wine, without that sort of cherry scent. Absolutely love it.
We're getting more into my style now. I think I'm really.
Some tasting notes. You mentioned the cherries there. I get licorice as well. It's very dry. There's a little bit of toasty oak, vanilla-y oak in there. In fact, the vanilla is really lovely on the finish of this wine.
That is gorgeous. I think I'll be picking myself up a bottle of this. So I'm just going to quickly go on to the prices. It is $11.49 for a single bottle. Or again, we've also always got an offer if you mix and match.
Yes.
12 or more, and that comes down to $9.99 in that case.
Which is great value when you consider some of the vines for this are proper old vines. There's a real sort of concentration and quality in the wine. So I think it's a bargain. And in terms of food matching. I'm going with ragu. You're going with steak, roast beef. I'm going with ragu. Just a nice sort of slow cooked ragu, sort of tomato sauce, just sort of cooked for a nice long time. That lovely fruit from the wine would go with it really well.
It's absolutely gorgeous. I am definitely getting myself a bottle of this.
This one's going in the car on the way home. I mean, for after, you know. Cheers, Jennie.
So, Grant, we're going from Italy to Spain now.
Brilliant. Love the adventure, love the travel without having to move.
And this is another new wine?
It is indeed. So this is the Fuente De Rache, and it comes from Navarra in rugged, mountainous northern Spain.
Okay.
And it's a really ancient winemaking region, so predates the Romans. So going back certainly 2,500 years, and this is a very special place. There's a monastery, basically, or it used to be a monastery, and is now a winery. And if you're into your hiking, you might want to take a trek to northern Spain and go on the Camino de Santiago, which is where this monastery is, and you can drink wine from the fountain outside of the monastery. Not this wine, because it's a bit good. But yeah, we're going to hook up with Jean-Marc on this one, and Jean-Marc is actually at the winery in Spain, and is going to join us now for a chat. Hello, Jean-Marc.
Hi guys. So welcome into the amazing cellar of Rache. If you look behind me, these vaulted things. It's like a cathedral. It's like a wine cathedral. So I'm going to open our bottle of Fuente De Rache Crianza. This is the same thing we'll run out of the fontaine, but that's been polished for you guys, and it's been in bottle for a while. So sweet nose. Okay, look at that. How generous the color is. So this is the wine in bottle. The wine is here in the cellar, but is already on his way to England, and you should have that with you very soon. Oh, it's really nice and really deep color. The flavor has a really flavor of black fruits and spices, spice from the oak, and is dense. You know, is a rich wine. Is a real winter warmer. Good intensity on nose. Will be amazing with any type of cheese. It would be amazing around the fireplace. It would be amazing with meat, chicken. It's not a complicated wine. It's just a great Spanish wine. It is just what Navarra does, and it's Crianza, which means the wine been aged for 1 year in those barrels behind me. Nice spicy palate, bit of flesh. bit of structure, not too much, a winner. Cheers, enjoy.
Well, thank you very much. That was a really lovely chat that you had with Jean-Marc.
Yeah, and great that he was there at the winery on a buying trip. So happy days.
Absolutely.
Brilliant.
I can't get my nose out of this wine. It smells absolutely delicious.
Yeah, it's cracking. I really like it, and it's a bit of a bargain. So $11.99 is a single bottle price. If you're buying 12 or more bottles, you can mix those any way you like. But if you're buying 12 or more bottles from us, then it comes down to $8.99. And don't forget, in addition to that, you've got your 10% discount from Laithwaites Recommends for joining us live on the show.
Absolutely. Click the button. This is delicious. I
Happy
love
days.
this. So pop it in your basket.
Brilliant. Cheers, everyone. Cheers, Jennie. So joining us now for our Vino How section, where we answer your questions, is the very lovely Rebecca Harris from our customer service team. Hello, Rebecca.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm good. I'm sad that I'm not there with you today, but here we are at home.
Soon. So tell us a little bit about some of the accolades that you guys have won, because we're very proud of our customer service team here.
Yeah, it's incredibly important to us. So we're really proud. We've won the Customer Satisfaction Awards with the Institute of Customer Service. It's a great achievement, and it just shows our dedication and passion for customer service. And we're also one of just 14 companies in the UK that have been awarded Service Mark with distinction with the Institute of Customer Service as well, which just shows that we really are heavily focused on doing the right thing for our customers.
That's really fantastic, and congratulations to you and the team, Rebecca, on those accolades. And you've also got really excellent reviews on Trustpilot.
Yes, we're very proud. We've got an excellent 5-star rating. We have over 60,000 reviews on Trustpilot, and it is just the best thing to have a read through and see what comments are coming through from our customers. It really does put a smile on my face.
Oh, brilliant. Now, I think you've been sent a few questions by our customers, or you often get sent questions. So is there anything that you've been emailed or anyone's phoned through you can share with us and we'll answer?
Yep. Certainly. So we had a phone call just last week about a customer who on a Friday wanted to open a bottle of red wine. It was slightly cool. What's the best way, he asked, to get it up to room temperature?
Yeah, it's a tough one because you don't want to do it too quickly. If I'm opening a bottle of wine and it's a bit chilly, then I would, as I'm cooking, I might open it and pop it next to where I'm cooking. But you want to avoid the radiators and such thing, anything that's too sort of aggressive. The best way, my best advice, is to pop it in the glass and then just cup the glass in your hand and let it come up to temperature slowly that way. I think that would be my best solution, I think, for that conundrum. Anything else?
Yes, we had a lady phone up and she wanted to know what is better. Is screw cap better than cork? She was having a dinner party and she wanted to know which one she should go for. And does screw cap mean a poorer quality of wine?
No, I mean, screw cap certainly doesn't mean a poorer quality of wine. You know, there are certain environmental benefits to using screw cap. Also, if you're a white wine producer, you might want to bottle under screw cap because the freshness in the wine is really important, and the screw cap is a really tight closure. Conversely, if you're producing a red wine that it needs to age a little bit, let's say, and you want those age characteristics in the wine, then a cork is great because it just allows a little more oxygenation to happen and allows the wine to age slightly quicker. So, you know, horses for courses, if you like. Of course, there's a nice sort of tradition, of opening a bottle of wine with a corkscrew, and hearing the pop of the cork often signifies the weekend in my house. But yeah, I
would say the best thing though about having a screw cap wine is that you don't have to remember a corkscrew. So if you've packed yourself a picnic or you found yourself, as I saw a video recently, on a train with a bottle of wine with a cork and no corkscrew, that's the worst situation imaginable for me. So always get a screw cap, you don't have to remember a corkscrew.
Happy days. Any other questions, Rebecca?
Yes, we had a customer phone up and they received our brochure, really lovely brochure. It's full of lots of different wines. She couldn't see one of her wines that she's had previous in there. Can you buy anything outside of the brochure? If you don't see it in there, is it still available?
Absolutely, yeah. You can call our customer service team, you can call your wine advisor, you can pop into a shop, or you can look on the website. There are loads of wines that we just can't fit into our brochure each month. So our brochure is just kind of like a window into the whole world of Laithwaites. And yes, there are lots more options available.
The last question I've got here from a customer was they're having a celebration and they wanted a recommendation for a fizz. What would you recommend? They were a bit unsure about the differences between champagne, Prosecco and Cava, and wanted a bit of advice.
Cool. I mean, you've got the method of production. So English sparkling wine, champagne, Cremant, Cava are all made in a way that they have the second fermentation in the bottle. So it takes a lot longer. But for me, I would like to focus on people's tastes for this question. So, you know, English sparkling wine and champagne have a higher acidity. Prosecco is a little bit fruitier, often a little bit sweeter. So it depends sort of where you are in terms of those two sort of schools of thought on styles, what your preferences are there. For me, if I'm hosting a party and I'm not sure of everyone's tastes, I want to go middle of the road. I don't want as acidic as a champagne, I don't want as sweet as a Prosecco, so I would go for a Cremant like our Roche Liqueur, so our Cremant from the Limoux, which has got a nice bit of sunshine, the acidity is lower than the champagne, and it's not as sweet as our Proseccos. That would be my advice.
Yeah, I think Cremant is a really great kind of, it's really great value, and it has the complexity of a champagne or an English sparkling wine, yeah. But it's easy drinking. It's a crowd pleaser.
Happy days, brilliant. Well, Rebecca, thank you very much for joining us. Yeah, I love your work, and yeah, give our best regards to all your team, and you know, thanks for being there for us and for our lovely customers, of course. Nice to see you, Rebecca.
Thank you, Rebecca.
Thanks. Bye.
Take care. Bye-bye.
So we promised you some romantic food and sparkling wine pairings in our special Valentine's feature, Let's Get Physical. This is it. Apologies for the pun. So yeah, Grant, we're going to be looking at 3 different sparkling wines, and we obviously have some romantic food matches in front of them. So tell us about our first one, please.
So first off, we've got the Bridget Del Mar non-vintage champagne, and we're going to pair that with some oysters. And I'm just going to demonstrate how to open a bottle of sparkling wine safely.
Oh, please do. You don't want any injuries on Valentine's Day.
And there have been plenty. So you've got 5.5 atmospheres of pressure in the bottle. So the cork can shoot out quite a rate of knots and can cause some harm.
I've been told that's about the same as a bus tyre. Is that right?
Correct. Correct.
Now I'm feeling very nervous about you pointing it towards me.
That's all right. So first, take your foil off first off, and then so you pull out the little wire tag on the wine, and then from that moment, when I've removed the cage, it's going to be live, so it's going to be potentially dangerous. So it's always thumb over the top, and then we twist. It's going to be live.
Never has opening a bottle of wine had so much jeopardy. I feel really nervous.
Well, it's important, you know. We want everyone to enjoy their wine safely and responsibly. So we've got a little tag out there, and there'll be 6 turns. 1 on every bottle of sparkling wine. 2, 3, 4, 5. 6. There we go. And then from there, just clasp the cage and the cork and twist the bottle. And you should just let a little fizz out, a little pop.
That was perfect.
There we go. Thanks. I've done it a few times before. And I'm going to pour you a glass, Jennie, because it's Valentine's. So this is a Bridget Del Mar Champagne. So it's a lovely champagne, and there's a nice bit of history as well. So this is the Fourier family, and Julien Fourier is the winemaker. And the house was founded 170 years ago, and it's what we call a grower champagne. So they own the vineyards and they make the champagne. Now this is 100% Pinot Noir, and Julien's father Philippe planted this vineyard with his mother Brigitte.
Okay.
And Brigitte was her maiden name, so they planted the vineyard together, and he created this cuvee especially for her, or in her memory, if you like, in her honour.
It's very romantic.
It's very romantic, yeah. So it's aged for 36 months on the lees. It's got a really nice, rich toastiness to it.
It's got a lovely golden kind of hue to it as well, hasn't it?
Yeah,
it's really
it is
nice
lovely.
Colour.
So I'm expecting a little bit of richness and freshness as well. I'm a big fan. Can I have an oyster now, Jennie?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, so Grant's going to sample the oysters. I do love oysters, but they do not agree with me.
Cool. Going in.
So
That's sexy.
it's supposed to be, but I'm not sure.
Nice oysters. Nice oysters. They're from Rock.
They are from Rock, yes. I'm really. Oh yeah. Well, you've got the whole plate, so enjoy them.
Happy days. Yeah.
After filming.
Cheers.
Cheers. So, tell us why champagne and oysters make such a great food match.
I think they're both sort of really sort of decadent. You know, there's a real sort of like privileged sort of feel about both champagne and oysters when you eat them. There's a lot of freshness and minerality in both, and yeah, there's that really lovely mineral finish I've got from the oysters. I'm going to get that from the champagne.
Oh, sorry, I can't let you continue on camera any longer.
Because
You've got a bit of oyster on your nose.
Oh, that's classic.
There you go. I think you got it.
Great.
Well done.
Great. TV gold.
Great. Okay, so
$35.99 a bottle.
$35.99.
And for a single vineyard, 36 months lees aged champagne. That's fantastic. If you're buying 12 bottles or more, and I say you can mix them anywhere you like, it comes down to $29.99.
That is, I mean, £30 for a bottle of champagne.
Is good.
It's fantastic. I think we should say, unfortunately, the discount that is available on all of the other wines that we've spoken about today doesn't apply to champagne, unfortunately, or I don't think the English sparkling wine, but it is all very, very
It's cracking
already.
Yeah, loads of complexity there. So citrus, apples, baked apples. There's a bit of sort of brioche, croissant-y character there as well from that long
That
lees
comes
aging.
from the lees aging, right?
Happy days, brilliant.
Delicious. I mean, champagne. Do we need to carry on? Can I just have this? Okay, so next up is one of my all-time favourite food and wine pairings, and it's English sparkling wine with fish and chips. A really patriotic food and wine pairing.
Absolutely.
I know that fish and chips might not seem like everybody's idea of romance, but I think when you're in a steady, committed relationship, you've been together a while.
Yeah.
You don't need any of the fanfare. Just sitting at home or on a bench in front of the sea,
Brilliant.
eating fish and chips out of.
I think it can be really romantic. You know, it's a chilly time of the year. You've got to sit close together on that bench eating your fish and chips. So let's say no one has booked anything. No one's booked a restaurant. They're all full. What am I going to do? It's Valentine's night. Get yourself a bottle of English sparkling wine, a couple of glasses in your pocket. Down to the chippy, and then go and find yourself a nice bench in the park, fish and chips, English sparkling wine.
Can I say girls' night as well? I mean, you don't always need a date. I would very often go round to my friends' houses. None of us wanted to cook. We just pick up fish and chips on our way over there, take over a couple of nice bottles of fizz. The acidity in the sparkling wine, as you mentioned with the champagne, cuts right through the fattiness of the fried fish and the chips. And I mean, I just think it's an absolutely delicious match. And this wine from Henry Laithwaites Harrow and Hope Vineyard in Marlow is fantastic.
Planted in 2010. They've won so many awards, like GB Wine Awards Trophy, Winery of the Year 2019. I can't talk up this wine enough. It really, really is fantastic. 20 months lees aging, so you get a little bit of that toasty complexity there. Half of it is Pinot Noir, 35% Chardonnay, and the last 15% Pinot Meunier. Classy.
I think this is absolutely delicious. And I mean, what's great is that you can add lots of flavours to your fish and chips, right? So you can put lemon on your fish, you can put salt and vinegar on your chips, and it all kind of complements the flavours in the wine.
Yeah, absolutely. In fact, as I drink this, I need fish and chips. I need fish. I'm not going to eat fish and chips on camera, but yeah.
It's fantastic, and I know that we've got another food and wine match here, but I think that this wine is so fruity and so kind of like creamy in its bodiness that it's almost like drinking strawberries and cream. Yeah. So I would have this with my dessert as well as my fish and chips.
It's Wimbledon in a glass.
Oh.
Yeah. Cheers.
So this wine is £32 for a single bottle, and there is no multi-bottle offer on this, but it is exceptional value.
But it's worth it, yeah.
It's such a delicious wine, and if you're looking for that little hint of luxury,
yes,
then this is definitely one to go for.
Absolutely, and they've actually sold out of it at Harrow and Hope. They haven't got any more until May, so if you want any between now and then, this is the place to come.
Only available at Laithwaites.
There you go.
Okay, so our last food and wine pairing of this section is, of course, strawberries with a Prosecco Rose. Now, Prosecco Rose is a relatively new thing. It's not been many years that we've had this, has it?
Yeah, it's true. So basically in 2020, the laws changed to allow producers to make Rosé Prosecco. And it stipulates it must be Pinot Noir. It must be a vintage product. So this was made in 2020, this one. And it could be a maximum of 15% Pinot Noir in the blend. So this is made by one of our rock stars, one of our heroes, the very lovely Alessandro Gallici, who's a gentle giant, and fair to say he smashed it out the park at the very first attempt, because this is great. So this has got 4.8 out of 5 in the customer reviews.
Fantastic.
So absolutely fantastic. And actually,
really cool bottle, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a great bottle. You can have a little look at the bottle there. So a really lovely bottle. It just says bling and sparkle and Valentine's to me. You've got a little embossed 47 there, which is 47, and that is to represent the road that runs right next to the winery where this is made, the Tombaco winery. And the road was built in 47 AD. It is Julia Augusta was the emperor, and that's the name of the road. So yeah, loads and loads of bling, nice wine.
Let's give it a taste. That is very light and fruity, isn't it? It's very
nice.
refreshing.
I got a nice creamy character as well. I think partly from the mousse and partly from the sweetness in the wine. There's a touch of sweetness there. Really yummy. I reckon it's banging with the strawberries.
That is
Okay.
a match made in heaven. Happy Valentine's Day, Prosecco and strawberries.
Brilliant. Prices for you, $15.99 a bottle. And if you're buying 12 or more bottles, any mix, that comes down to $13.99. And then, of course, on top of that, for this bottle, you will get your extra 10% discount.
Yeah, pop it in your basket, click on the links either side of us. It is perfect for Valentine's Day.
Brilliant. Nice strawberries too.
Cheers.
Well, cheers. So now it's time for a bit of vinspiration for when we can travel again. We certainly need it. And first of all, we're going to South Africa, and it's the beautiful wine region that is Stellenbosch. And the Gab family have been set up in Stellenbosch since 1995 at the Journey's End Winery. And we sent a film crew over to the winery to capture some footage for you, which we're going to share with you and watch while Jennie and I enjoy a glass. Enjoy.
We've been working with Laithwaites for about 14 years now, and we tailor-made the bee's knees and the Queen Bee Viognier for their customers. Bees is such an important factor in everything. If there's no bees, nothing will be pollinated. I like to experiment. I like to try new things. It's always very important to have a nice balance between your creamy texture, your fruit that's running through on the palate, with the nice acidity that's just floating in the glass. The climate in this area is well suited for white wines. So what we're trying to do is to farm as sustainable and ethical as possible. For us, you have to feel part of something. And if you feel part of something, you will always give your best. It's not how much you can take out of the land, it's also how much you can put back into the land. You're basically in Mother Nature's hand.
Do you like that video, Jennie?
It's lovely. It's like it's so rare that we get an opportunity to actually go and see the wineries, especially at the moment, you know, when everything's kind of travels not as easy as it was. And The winery have been doing some fantastic work over the last couple of years as well.
They have, yeah, they have. So they do a lot of work in the community. So one of the highlights for the Journey's End Foundation has been throughout COVID, which South Africa's been really hit really hard, especially in the Western Cape, where they're reliant on hospitality and tourism. And within their local community, Journey's End Foundation are supplying 13,000 meals a week to those that are struggling, are basically in danger of starvation. So here's to them. Yeah, cheers.
Well done, you.
But also what I really like about seeing the videos, it helps you understand the wine, and all of that really sort of like rugged and mountainous terrain around Stellenbosch really lends itself to the wonderful sort of definition and freshness in this wine. It's a really lovely wine. So 100% Viognier, and the vineyards or the vines in the vineyards are between 30 and 43 years old, so they're quite old vines, so you get really lovely concentration of flavours and freshness in there. 2021 was quite a cool vintage, so it is really clearly defined, this wine. So if you've had your Viogniers and they can be a bit sort of like rich, sort of stone fruit and tropical fruit, I think, and you don't enjoy that, then maybe you should try this one. For Viognier lovers, all the hallmarks are there, but there's that real sort of freshness and elegance in the wine too.
It's really beautiful. I love this wine, and it is $12.99 for a single bottle if you'd like to buy a bottle, or if you mix and match it in a case of 12 or more, it's $10.99 a bottle. And of course you will get that special show discount that we've been talking about all evening. Just click on the links to either side of us to pop it in your basket.
Absolutely. I mean, in terms of food matches, this for me is like a Sunday lunch sort of wine, so you're sitting down there, you're having some roast chicken,
yes,
maybe some roast pork. What's great about it, well, there's many great things about it, but one thing is it's unoaked. So it's got some body and some sort of like fleshy character, but it's unoaked. So a lot of people struggle with oak in their white wines, and I think this is a great unoaked wine with a bit of body and a bit of texture.
Yeah, I think you're right. Definitely Sunday roast veg. I'm thinking maybe like a mushroom Wellington. It would go really well with as well.
Nice. Yeah, I like mushrooms. This would be great. Yeah, well done. Cheers, Jenny.
So from South Africa to France and the southern area of the Côte de Rhône.
Correct. So this is within the Côte de Rhône. You've got Châteauneuf-du-Pape. So it is a specific appellation, and this is something of a rarity from Châteauneuf-du-Pape because it is the only cooperative winery within Châteauneuf. So by cooperative we mean that the vineyard owners, so the people who are growing the grapes, are invested in the partnership of the winery. So all of the growers have a vested interest in producing the best fruit, because ultimately it's going to lead to their wine. So they choose some ancient vines. You've got Grenache, 90% is Grenache, and 5% each of Syrah and Mourvèdre go into this wine. And this was probably one of the first red wines that I tried at Châteauneuf-du-Pape. There's, even people who don't drink wine, they've heard of Châteauneuf-du-Pape. It's a real sets the bar. It's one of those wines that sort of sets the standard.
Instantly, I can smell kind of like real savoury notes, kind of quite vegetal.
Nice. I like your tasting notes, Jenny.
I've got a good nose.
Yeah. I get that now, but only now that you said it. So there was loads of sort of really plush, soft fruit. So lots of sort of strawberries, stewed plums, raspberries as well. But lots of really sort of soft, gentle fruit, and some spice and vanilla from the oak there as well. But really, really soft and delicious. And we got a video.
Yes, we do.
We can take you there.
Let's enjoy this while we catch up with how they're getting on over there.
I worked with Laithwaites for 11 years. Founded in 1925, our vineyard are a historic producer of Châteauneuf, but also of Côte de Rhône. The Rhône Valley is blessed by the gods for our vines. Our vineyard is located just around Châteauneuf-du-Pape. Sometimes it's even the same plot. This wine, Le Prince de Courthézon, reveals delicious fruit flavors, but also typical note of Mediterranean spices. The mouth is round, powerful, and long on the palate. The quality of grapes is due to the terroir. It's made from a layer of big stones called galets roulés. By storing it during the day and releasing it at night helps to obtain an optimal ripeness. In 11 vintages, Le Prince de Courthézon was rewarded 30 gold medals.
So that was lovely. A combination of the video and also being taken away by the nose and the flavour and the wines. That was great. So the Chateauneuf du Pape retails at £25 a bottle. So you can get that if you're buying a single bottle. It'll cost you £25 a bottle. On the multi-buy, so any mix of 12 bottles you buy from us, that comes down to £22.50.
So, I mean, great value for a Chateauneuf du Pape, a classic Rhone red like that. It's they aren't cheap, are they?
No, they're not. Yeah, they're not. Yeah, and it's those ancient vines that sort of lend itself to the price in this wine. Very low yielding.
So, what are you thinking with a food match for this?
Food match. Well, again, it's got that special Sunday sort of feel to it. So, you know, roast dinners. But I've been quite keen recently on vegan recipes inspired by a mate of mine. And also actually Ottolenghi, a favourite chef. But a miso roasted aubergines would be great. Absolutely lovely.
Yeah, or if you're looking for something a bit more traditional, I made like a fantastic chestnut, mushroom and butternut squash tart for Christmas Day last year. And I think that would, all of those rich flavours with this rich wine would be really lovely.
Great. All round to your house after for dinner then. Yeah, brilliant. Cheers, Jennie.
Cheers. Earlier on in the show, we caught up with winemaker Jean-Marc, who spoke to us about his new wine that he's brought over. But now we're going to have a quick chat with him about what the wider wine region is looking like, and he's just going to give us some ideas of what's going on.
Brilliant. So here's Jean-Marc and the Camino de Santiago.
So I show you that. So this is obviously the sign for Fuente del Vino, which we're going to go on the Camino de Santiago, tasting the wine from the fountain.
Let's go.
Come with me. Hi, hello guys. I'm going to show you something which is unique. It's unique in Spain, but it's unique in all the Camino de Santiago, all the path what the pilgrim will be using since the 10th century. This is a wine fountain, La Fuente del Vino. From the 10th century, people were giving wine to the pilgrims for them to be able to get strength and carry on walking. So look at that. Fuente De Rache, this is a wine. This is where the wine comes from. There's a lot of pressure in the tank. It almost looks like a... But wait a second. The foam is going to stop. And so this is winter, so it's pretty cold. But in summer, they put some rosé, chilled rosé, so the people come and they can have some rosé. So this is the Crianza, Fuente De Rache, the one we're having in the bottle. Oh, look at that. It's nice. Good spices. It's nice wood. And it's just incredible. You get out of the fountain. How lovely is that? How lovely the new owners been respecting this tradition. It's of giving wine to the pilgrims. They give around more than 20,000 liters per year. It's a blend of Tempranillo with Cabernet Sauvignon and Merlot. It's been aged in barrel. It's the same wine who goes out to the fountain. So you don't want to pay UK tax and duty. You come to the Camino and you can get it. Wow, delicious. Cheers, guys.
Oh, thanks very much, Jean-Marc. Lovely to see you. Not jealous of your world travels at all. What do we got next, Jennie?
Well, next we're taking a look at some of the items in our Valentine's gift range. Woo-hoo. Now, our gifts team are always super busy, and they've put together loads of gorgeous gifts for anybody that loves wine or whiskey or vodka, anyone who loves a drink, really.
You name it.
So this is just a small selection from our gifts range, and we're going to start with this Rioja duo. So we've got two Riojas in a beautiful gift box, including this Baron de Barbon.
Love it. So this is a Reserva, from 2017. Cracking wine, a real favourite of mine. It's got a really lovely sort of tobacco-y, licoricey character. It goes with all that fruit. That's just, I love it.
I love Rioja. When I had my interview for Laithwaites, I was asked, what wine do you like? Ooh. And I didn't know very much about wine at the time, and I just said Rioja, and I thought that was probably the end of the interview.
Cool.
They had me back.
And then joining it is from Rioja Alta, we've got the Castillo de Epifania, which is, so Rioja Alta, one of the most, well, the most highly respected sort of sub-region of Rioja. So yeah, that's from the 2020 vintage.
That duo is usually £33.26, but it's on offer at £26 at the moment.
Which is great value.
Then should we move on to our Hotel Chocolat duo?
Let's do it.
Now, Hotel Chocolat, obviously, they're very famous chocolate shop, but they have gone into liqueurs, spirits, and they have put together this gift for us, which is the velvetized espresso martini chocolate edition and the salted caramel vodka liqueur. Now, I made cocktails with these last week, and the recipes are on our Instagram channel at the moment, but I made an espresso martini with the chocolate espresso martini, just put extra kick of everything in there. It was delicious,
Fantastic.
Really creamy, gorgeous. And the salted caramel liqueur, I did a cocktail with blood orange juice and ginger beer, and it was like really good. I was expecting to prefer the chocolate martini, but actually...
You like a bit of salted caramel?
I mean, who doesn't?
Yeah,
can you get regular caramel anymore, or is it always salted?
I don't know. Certainly can't in those biscuits in the next set.
So that set is £53.25 usually, but again, it's on offer at £45 at the moment.
Brilliant. Next up, so we've got some Cartwright and Butler biscuits. Salted caramel again, and we're pairing that with a special edition of one of our best-selling Proseccos, which is the Cavolani. So this is the Edicione Anniversario, so fully sparkling, spumante. You can see the sort of sparkling wine cap on the top there with a cage. So yeah, a special edition of what is a special Prosecco for us.
Well done. Okay, then moving on, we have gone from Prosecco to Champagne. So we have got a gift set of 4 of the mini Moet et Chandon
Brilliant.
bottles, and they each come with a reusable metal straw. So yes, like I say, 4 of those bottles in the gift set, and they are on offer at the moment at £49.99.
Brilliant, fantastic. On to some whiskey.
Yes, because it's not all about wine here. We do spirits as well.
Not at all. So this is a special whiskey, Tullibardine 228. So it is aged in bourbon casks, but then finished in 228-litre Burgundy casks from Chateau de Chassagne-Montrachet.
And that whiskey is £39.90.
Brilliant. So Highland single malt. Fantastic.
And then finally, this is the one that I've been coveting ever since I saw it in the gifts range. This is our Laurent Perrier Cuvée Rosé with a limited edition ice bucket and Dartington crystal flutes.
Yes, it's hard not to think of pink champagne without thinking of Laurent Perrier Rosé. I'm going to move the candle because I'm going to grab a glass or two.
This is really the one that everybody wants, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Just quintessentially.
It's a cracker. So you get 2 Dartington crystal flutes, this lovely embossed ice bucket with a faux leather handle, which is branded with Laurent Perrier, very classy. And of course the champagne.
And the 2 flutes. Did we already say the flutes?
Yeah,
sorry.
Well, we can say the flutes again. They're so nice.
Too much champagne in rehearsal. So this is a mega gift for somebody who really deserves a special treat. I might just buy it for myself. I think I deserve a special treat.
I think you need to, Jennie.
It's usually £122, but it's down to £110 at the moment.
Brilliant.
And that's all of the gifts that we've got to show you today, but there, like I said, there's a load more in our range, so take a look online. If you like any of the look of these, you can add them to your basket by clicking the links down the side.
And there's still time for delivery before Valentine's.
Yes, absolutely.
So get in. Don't hang about too long. Take action. Yeah. Don't ever get caught short on Valentine's Day.
And these don't have to be for a partner, do they? They can be for a family member, they can be for a friend.
Someone you want to impress.
Absolutely. Oh, well, that's the end of our Valentine's special of Laithwaites Recommends.
Yeah.
It's been a real pleasure. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for joining us. Thanks for coming along, Jennie.
Thank you.
Yeah. And sending you lots of February love from Laithwaites. Good health and happiness.
Until next time.
Cheers.
Cheers.